All right, I think we're ready to rock.
Yeah,
What's up, Ray?
yeah. Can I tell you something? I'm dying to go back to New Jersey.
When was the last time you were back in Jersey?
I haven't been there. We did two clinics in Jersey a few years back. I don't even recall.
All right.
There's been so many places we've been around the country. I just don't remember. But we had a lot of fun, and there was a great group of people in Jersey, and enough so that we came. Matter of fact, we stayed for like a week. We did a weekend in New Jersey, and then went to Philadelphia and did a clinic there. Yeah, so it was we ran through numbers really fast.
Whereabouts in Jersey were you last time?
I knew you were going to ask me, and I totally forgot.
Probably don't know.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Look, can I tell you something? All I do is the work. My wife handles and orchestrates all the details. I get on a plane. She hands me my ticket. I get on the plane. I land someplace. I get a rent a car, and I end up someplace. And I have no. I'm just like when you take your dog for a walk. that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, sweet man. Goes without saying. I know we've talked many times before this phone call. Thank you on behalf of Kiera and Sam in the garage. For those of you on this video excited to get Rich back in New Jersey, wanted to shed some light before the Q&A into what Rich is coming to New Jersey in the garage to do. So myself, Kieran, and Sam, we own and operate the Garage Gym in Westfield, New Jersey. The other week, we took a trip out to random place in Tennessee to go to Rich's house to get some testing done. Long story short, we enjoyed it so much. We found a lot of value from it. We were able to convince, and Rich was nice enough to come back to New Jersey to do it for 15 folks out of the garage. That is the genesis of this phone call today. For those of you listening, for those of you interested, for those of you coming, thank you. I'm very excited. I know it's going to be super valuable. And the purpose of today's call is to get to know a little bit more about Rich for those of you who are not aware of who he is, what he's done, and what he's up to today, and the breakdown on what's going to happen at the garage in February. So with that, Rich, I will toss the ball to you, man. Yeah. What's up? Who are you? What are you about? What are we doing at the garage?
All right. So, I don't want to go into this whole dialogue about who I am and where I come from. Just suffice to say, I'm an old man. I've been doing what I do for a very long time. And for the past decade, I've been traveling around the country based on request to do exactly what I intend to do when I come to the garage. And that is, we begin with a resting metabolic assessment. So for those of you who are trying to figure out what's that do, what's the value in that, realize that everything you do when you're exercising is a function of the energy you've consumed and the energy you expend. And the first thing that you should know as an athlete, or anyone for that matter, even if you're trying to lose some weight, is identify what specifically you should be consuming. And I'm not talking about how your diet needs to roll out, but I'm talking about how much energy your body requires. And within a 15-minute assessment, we can clinically evaluate your metabolism and show you very precisely how your metabolism is operating and show you how many calories your body requires in a 24-hour period. And then we take that information and we carry it over into the VO2 max test we're going to do. Now, a lot of people get sketchy about VO2. They think it's like this massive attack on your body. It's really not nearly as bad a situation as you might think. It's about a 10-minute assessment where we clinically evaluate how your body's using energy again and what the heart rate is relative to the intensity of the effort that you're producing. And so this becomes a really critical bit of information for your training. So we put those two pieces together. We give you a good sense of how much food you should be consuming in the course of the day based on your particular lifestyle, based on the things you do on a day-to-day basis. And so we're going to put that aside for a little bit. Then what I do, which is a very powerful bit of information, is I get you on a treadmill. I do a video gait analysis of the way you're moving and ferret out the imperfections, let's call it, in the way you're moving and help you to move better. Because at the end of the day, injuries keep you from training. Injuries keep you from performing better. And we joked about this. I had shirts made up once upon a time that on the very back, the entire back of the shirt says, "You can't win if you run like shit." And believe me when I tell you, I've had athletes come from all over the world to see me because they identified that if they don't improve the way they run, It doesn't matter how much harder they train or how often they train. They're doing it wrong. They need to get it right. And there is a right way to do it. And I may get some pushback from some people about that, but I'm sorry, it's true. You really need to understand how to approach your running mechanics so that you can perform better and increase the longevity of your sport. And so I have, we toyed with this a little bit. I've worked with a lot of athletes that I'm sure that you guys are familiar with. We've got the High World Champion, Hunter McIntyre, good friend. I worked with him for close to 5-6 years, I think it is now. And Chris Rogowski's come out to see me. I could name drop all day about people that have come to see me because they've identified that they didn't want to leave anything off the table. They want to make sure that they were doing things correctly so they don't waste their time with their training. And so this is going to gel into 2 days of me and you and so on and so forth until we can rock this out. Now, I will point out, Karen has mentioned earlier that about 15 people. I could not take 16 people. I mean, that is the limit of the number of people we can actually effectively assess and process over the course of a few days. And so that means that each and every one of you is going to have individual time with me, and we're going to go through this, and we're going to make you understand what it is you need to change if there's change needed, and just basically give you an up game. We're going to make you a better athlete. It's bottom line.
Sweet. And Rich, I think you make a good point. Part of the reason why hopefully giving some context to the folks out of the garage who know me and Sam very well, one of the things, at least speaking for myself, was leaving stuff on the table. The past couple of years for Kieran Williams has been training really hard and a lot, and that has gotten me to a certain point of doing all right at these events, whether that be High Rocks, whether that be ultra running, whether that be the Ironman event as well. It's been a ton of fun, and I've learned a lot about training and fitness myself, quite frankly. But one of the things that we wanted to do, and why we contacted you and were eager to get out to Franklin, Tennessee for 30 hours, was so that you could help us fine-tune what we have done so we can get from where we are to where we want to go, right? There's a lot to be said, and I don't know the first thing of it. That's why we're working with you. As far as looking into the data, running properly, eating enough calories. When I was out in Tennessee, you told me that I needed 6,000 calories a day, and I thought you were joking, and now I'm still trying to catch up to 6,000 calories a day, because previously maybe I was eating 3 or 4. It's just stuff that you wouldn't know, or even stuff as far as the gait analysis. Me and Sam have been running for years. Had you asked me if I was a good runner, I said, yeah, I think I'm a pretty good runner. We went 3 frames into the analysis that you take videos on, 3 different angles, and you're like, dude, this sucks.
I did not say that. It might have been something along that line, but
that's what I took away with it, and it's correct, right? Pronating, hips out of whack, overextending, you name it. This is stuff that we'll break down in these 15 individuals, which will be awesome. And again, just as context, speaking from my experience, even in I think the 2 or 3 weeks that we have been working together, I have seen a big shift in how I approach training and hopefully the value and end goal of which we can attain, which is performing better, running more efficiently, and high level, the longevity of the sport, doing this for a very long time to come.
Yeah, so, well, look, I mean, this is what I do, and I wouldn't still be successful doing what I do if it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. And you get a guy like, and again, I try to avoid name dropping, but it's real easy because people know who he is. Hunter McIntyre would come to me, and over the years, we find issues that needed to be corrected. And he would listen, and we worked on some of these things, and his performances would improve. And people that know him know he's all over the board. He started out with being a Spartan world champion, going into CrossFit, going into High Rocks. And what we're looking at the end of the day for everyone that I meet is the battle with fatigue. What's causing you to crap out? And what can we do to correct that problem? And so from a clinical end of things, we can very clearly identify how your body responds to the things you do. and then we could figure out what we need to do to improve the way you approach the work you're doing so that you get a little bit more yardage out of the work you're doing, so you don't fade in an event early. And so this is basically what it boils down to. And I tell people all the time, they say, what do you do? I say, well, I'm putting out a fight with fatigue. I'm helping people to battle with fatigue. And this is the enemy in all sport, all competition, basically in life.
Sweet. So let's shoot out February 24, 25, 26. It's a 2.5-day event. My name is my boy Justin, who signed up. He's ready. He's excited to go. I sign up, and I'm looking forward to February 24th. What can I expect? When do I have to be where? What should I wear? Do I eat? From start to finish, what can someone who comes to this event expect to take away, and what should they be prepared for?
All right, first of all, nothing happens until someone registers. And so what we need them to do is register. You've got the link. I think you've been passing that around. If not, they can visit my website. Let's see, I've got a link in here somewhere. I'll put it up later. But visit my website, and it's right on the front page. It gives you the dates. It gives you the locations, where I'm going to be. And obviously right on top says Garage Gym. Here's where we're going to go. You just sign up. And we're going to get that information. And once we have that information, we will connect with you. My wife will actually reach out via email, and she'll introduce herself, and she'll say, hey, look, we schedule these assessments by appointment. So each individual is tested one at a time. So let's just say it's you. You say, okay, I'm in. I'm the first one to register. You got a choice of times to be tested. So we're going to start testing early in the morning, the first day that we start working. And when we get there, let's just say it's you. You're going to have a resting metabolic assessment. In a perfect world, we want to keep you relatively fasted. So you're not going to go to Starbucks and have 3 cups of coffee and come down and get tested. It's not going to work. So we need you relatively fasted. So once you've been tested and we cleared you through the resting metabolic assessment, then if all goes well, you're going to come see me, and I'm going to probably put you on a treadmill. We'll probably have a chance to chat a little bit, but that's not all that's going to be done. We're going to get on to more corrective measures, things like this, as more and more people come out of the resting test. So that's going to operate on about every 15 or 20 minute level. So let's just say you're the first person in and you want to, get something to eat after the resting test. Perfect. Go out, get something to eat, come back. You're not going to miss anything. Now, I will say, having said that, the more you are around, the better. Because the more you're in front of me, the more you're going to learn. Because you just never know what this old man's going to say or what direction I'm going to take things. But like I've been telling you earlier, past 10 years I've been doing this all over the country. So I know what I want to deliver. I know what works. I know what people expect. And we've been, we've 5 stars every time we've done this. It's always worked out really well. So resting test first, gait analysis, gait correction is going to come in second. VO2 is going to come in after that. And then we're just going to shoot from the hip. We're going to do a little bit of training. When I get a sense of the lay of the land, we're going to decide how we're going to put this out there. But I'm going to be there for a few days. And by the way, one of the things I'm going to cover is injuries. How to deal with your own injuries. I've been supported by Rock Tape for the past 10 years, and I'm certified in all facets of their work, whether it be taping, cupping, blading, you name it. I've been trained in it, and I found that a lot of people really found that bit of information useful. Because if you start to have these little niggling injuries, knowing what to do about them and get out of trouble quick means you train that much sooner. So again, I'm looking forward to coming out. I said I've been to Jersey a few times. I prefer it be the summer, but apparently that's not going to happen. Yeah, so what have I not said?
I think as far as the lay of the land goes, that's awesome. I think one of the questions I have, and maybe the answer is yes, I don't know, but a lot of folks at the garage compete in Hyrox. A lot of them are very serious about their training, what they like to do, and what they want to accomplish from a fitness perspective. A lot of folks aren't, right? Maybe they don't particularly care about Hyrox. They love seeing our friends doing it, but they don't have that interest themselves. Would a seminar like this still be valuable for them if they enjoy running?
Absolutely. Because if you're in a gym, the assumption being that they're trying to improve their fitness, right? And whether it be just a function of trying to lose some weight, you just want to stay healthy for as long as you possibly can, whatever it is, this information is gold, because learning how to address your eating habits, learning what intensity would be appropriate based on what you're trying to accomplish, it's good for everyone. And I can tell you that I've been doing this type of work for 30 years, and I've tested, mind you, thousands of athletes. And I've been a gym owner myself for close to 20 years. And a lot of my members, just like members of your own, you got the sprinkling of guys that are very competitive, and you got people who are just trying to keep it organized. And we've done tests with people like that and really made a big, big difference in their lives. So I'm telling you, this is the type of thing that you would never seem to find come to you. I'm coming to you, and I'm going to cover all these bases, and it's going to make a difference. Now, the other thing that we need to impart here is that we can't do 16 people. When the first 15 people to register, the rest of them is apologies. We're just going to say, I'm sorry, I wish you would have registered sooner. Because I can't do more. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't do more than that. And I'm not rushing the process. I can't rush the test. I don't want to half step. I want to make sure that everybody walks away happy, fulfilled, and, coming away feeling good about the whole situation.
Beautiful. Anything that you'd recommend for folks coming into this?
Well, there's nothing that they need to do to prepare. A lot of people think, well, I want to wait till I get in better shape. That's a really bad idea. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you get to that place. So there's really not much you can do. Now, as far as logistics, I'm going to run on an assumption that you guys are pretty well outfitted for whatever we need in order to get the business handled.
Yep.
We used to operate, we do this type of work out of a residence inn. Believe me, we've learned over the years how to make things work. So I feel this is going to be a premium circumstance. And again, I'm excited to show up.
All right, brilliant. I think we're good to go then, man.
All right, see you in a few.